Hi, I've just got a quick tip for people using Windows PCs. This is a tip regarding SASS or any sort of preprocessor. I generally use a Mac for my web design work, and I've never really got into Grunt or Gulp. If you're using either of those two, then this is not relevant to you. But what I were using, or what I do use on a Mac, is a little program called CodeKit, which, if you're a web designer, you probably know of it. Is a great little app for dealing with pre-processing languages like SASS, any of them really. It does JavaScript and concatenates JavaScript and all the rest of it. But one of the things, I've never been able to find a good alternative on Windows. There is one called Preproc, but I've never had that much success with it. I mean, this is quite not complicated, but sort of a typical sort of heavy-ish project that I've created in CodeKit on my Mac. And trying to get that working in Preproc, it just won't work because it's using Compass for one, which I don't think Preproc, it does support it, but it's only got partial support for Compass, because I think Compass actually has been, it's been replaced by Bourbon or whatever, but that's sort of beside the point anyway. And the reason why I use Compass is because on this particular website, it's a sort of old-fashioned site in some respects, in that it uses... it's a fixed width design, and it doesn't use fonts or SVG for its icons. It uses sprite sheets, which still can be really good. Obviously fonts and SVG are great for what they are, but sometimes you do still need to use images. And Compass deals with sprites really well. I'm going a little bit off topic here, but a sprite sheet is that basically, where you get all your images in one, to save HTTP requests and bandwidth and stuff. So, but I won't go into that too much. But that's the setup anyway. I'm using Compass, and I want something to pre-process it. I said this was going to be a quick tip, and it probably ain't going to end up being a quick tip, but I'll try my best. So what I have been doing is I fired up Dreamweaver, because that can process these languages now. So I've been using it, but to be honest, I don't like it. I started off in Dreamweaver years ago, but it's just so bloody clunky, and it doesn't handle code that well at all, in my opinion. It's just really, really slow, especially if you're used to something like Sublime. I was just pulling my hair out with it. But one thing that I have found is that if you have Dreamweaver open and just sort of sat in the background, you can use it just like you would CodeKit. So I've got no files open here, and I've got this exact same project open in Sublime Text, which is great on any platform. And that Dreamweaver will still process my SASS for me, which is fantastic. It doesn't have that active reload, but I don't particularly like that anyway, because I do prefer to refresh myself when I've made some changes. So, I'll delete all these styles here and save this document, and then refresh my document. And you can see that's taken effect. So it's actually pre-processing my SASS for me. And it's actually really, really quick for pre-processing. I think it's actually quicker than CodeKit, especially on a project like this, which, like I say, is quite a beefy project, and it's using Compass to generate the sprites and stuff. So you've got an absolutely lightning fast sort of pre-processing engine just in Dreamweaver, and all you have to do is just have Dreamweaver opened and just minimised in the background. So, it works fantastically well. And if you just want a quick guide as to how to create a project in Dreamweaver, you just go to Manage Sites. You'd create new, but I'm just going to show you one that I've already created, obviously. Just click Edit. So you just give it a name, point it to the directory that you're working in, set up some local servers if you're using PHP or whatever. I've got a local server and a remote here, but that's irrelevant. You don't need to have that. And then you just sort of tell it what preprocessor you're using. But in this case, I'm using Compass. So I just point it to a config.rb file, which is just in the root directory of my project, and it just sets everything else up for me. I don't think I changed any of these other things. And I'll just open up that config.rb file for you. And that's that. It just tells you where all the assets are, and if you want the output to be compressed and stuff. So yeah, it works really, really well. And if anyone wants any help with that setting up or any of the files and stuff, let me know, and I'll just post it in the comments and I'll give you it. But it's fantastic, I think that. It's really, really, really handy. And it's just going to save me an awful lot of work. In fact, I think just going back to that managed sites, I think there might have been another setting actually where you have to sort of tell it where you want the... this is where you sort of tell it what paths and stuff, where you want the CSS to end up and things like that. But it's dead simple, really. So if you just sort of follow that through, and then, like I say, you've got... So yeah, it's not quite as fancy as CodeKit and stuff, but it's getting the job done. Saves me having to mess around with the command line, and I'm not having to use Dreamweaver. I'm still having to, I'm still getting away with Sublime, which is my favourite text editor. So yeah, so I just thought it'd be worth mentioning that. It's just like I say, it's just sort of something that I've just figured out. Okay, cheers guys, I hope that finds someone and helps them in any way. Thanks, bye.